to the Hookup on Music with your host, Tony Bird.
Well, everyone, welcome to an episode of the Hookup on Music, episode 123. Thank you for joining us. It is kind of a special episode. Sad, none the more. Just got news a little while ago that Mr. Ozzy Osbourne has passed away. So I hurried up and gathered my notes and gathered everything that I had. And I said, you know what? I want to put together a little bit of a in memoriam and honoring of this legend king. It's crazy because we've been talking about the recent Black Sabbath reunion the last few episodes. So it's just crazy that our third episode happens to be the episode in which sadly John Michael Ozzy Osbourne has passed away on July 22nd, 2025. Just really words can't be spoken at how awesome Ozzy is and has been. He's been a very important part in my life. He has played so many different roles, so many songs. I mean, from Black Sabbath to the solo material, just has always been very, very important to me. It's crazy with the Black Sabbath reunion concert and all of that. I've really been digging deep into Ozzy. So this one kind of hurts a little bit because generally when there is a passing, I'm not really like as deep as I am right now and rediscovering things that I've enjoyed for such a long time about Ozzy. I mean, he is a pioneer in heavy metal. And if you don't know, we love heavy metal here at the Hookup on Music, and we love everything that he has been a part of. You know, also a part of soundtracks and movies and wrestling. It was pointed out earlier to me by my main man Brian. He was in a WWF WWE sketch with the British Bulldog. That was pretty cool. Um, you know, Black Sabbath is an important part in my life. We've covered them at least a handful of times on here. We've went through the albums, the self-titled debut, Paranoid, Masters of Reality, Volume 4, Sabbath Bloody Sabbath, Sabotage, Technical Ecstasy, and Never Say Die. Okay, and then they've come back with a reunion album, 13. Just yesterday, I was jamming Children of the Grave live from a reunion concert. It's just everything is just happening so fast, and it's like, well, what do you play? You know, and I guess you could play something like I don't know because I don't know what to play. Ozzy had a really, really, really cool voice, above nothing more. And honestly, first time hearing it, you never heard anything else like it, or we're going to hear anything else like it for the rest of the time. And so as soon as you start digging through the classics, which of course everybody is going to do and they need to do, starting with Blizzard of Oz, if you're into the solo stuff, going all the way through his most recent album, which a lot of people, they got into Patient Number 9. There's some good stuff on there. We covered Parasite with Zach Wilde, No Escape from Now, Tony Iommi. Honestly, digging into this Ozzy and just having this happen has just kind of been crazy. And all its intricacies. I mean, Ozzy has sold over 100 million albums. So again, Ozzy is not a slack or a slouch in far as album sales. He has been inducted into the Hall of Fame as a member of Black Sabbath in 2006 and as a solo artist in 2024. Again, we think that Ozzy being a part of 13 studio albums is pretty awesome. They were supposed to. It was a farewell in 2017 for Black Sabbath after that 13 album. But this recent concert that they put together, again, we went through last week the set list, the bands. I'm sure in due time, Pantera will probably put out a statement. I mean, Zach Wilde will put out a statement. Everyone's going to put out a statement based upon the amazingness in which Ozzy was. Ozzy was married to Sharon Osbourne. She was an important part of his life, a manager. He had children, Amy, Kelly, Jack. Had 3 children from a previous relationship that he had with Thelma Riley. Just honestly, there's a whole lot about Ozzy that you can talk about. He was a very a it's it's crazy because, I think about Ozzy being married in the '70s, and then you hear the stories of the recording of volume 4. Honestly, for the last I'm not gonna lie to you folks out there, for the last 3, 4 weeks, volume 4 has not left my turntable, has not left my Spotify. I'm finding so many cool things in this album. And honestly, if it's been a while since you've dug into it, it's gonna do you a little good, especially after what's going on. This song right here, St. Vitus Dance. If you have not heard this one, this is just good. His vocals, that guitar, it's all over. I mean, Ozzy was just all over cool riffs like that one in St. Vitus's Dance. Um, really put together a awesome palette of vocals. And really, honestly, it's we could it's hard really to really vocalize how cool Ozzy was. I mean, of course, everybody knows that. You know, they know all of the awesome stuff about Ozzy. But you know what I mean? It's like eh, when somebody really kind of tries to leave such an impact on your life, it's deep, 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 deep. There's lots and lots and lots of facts. We got Ozzy as a kid. That was if the music is stuck with you, just think of his nickname, Ozzy. It stuck with him since he was a kid. Um, he was bullied in school for his dyslexia. I mean, overcoming bullying, I mean, geez, can you imagine how many people would step up for Ozzy? They should have stepped up for him back then. Maybe they did. I'm not too sure about, but being bullied is no cool at all. I mean, at 15, he left school altogether because of the bullying, and worked in a slaughterhouse. All indication, he has stated that if he didn't become a singer, he probably would have still been working at a slaughterhouse. He also spent some time in prison for robbing. Again, these are things that usually set people back, and for Ozzy, you know what I mean. It did not. It did not set him back. But again, everything has a connection. Everything has a timing and a purpose and a reasoning. Ozzy met Sharon through her father, who was Don Arden. If you're not familiar, manager. Sharon was around, and they were able to meet. And honestly, as Ozzy was dismissed from Sabbath, for them in their minds of being too messed up, that's just crazy to think about. You know what I mean? Ozzy, too messed up. But that's what they said. They felt that way. And then he's launched the Blizzard of Oz band with Randy Rhoads. And honestly, if he doesn't run into Randy Rhoads, another amazing musician, where does his career go from there? I mean, Blizzard of Oz album, Diary of a Madman, Crazy Train. These all don't exist without Randy Rhoads. So Ozzy's just always been growing. What does he mean to the people who listen to him? I mean, for tours and tours and tours and tours and the tours and the tours and all the tours that he has been a part of, which are lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of tours. Fans, always fans. And always just really cool guitar intros, like we said. I mean, just look at these fans right here. Just Zach Wild right there. He is a big part of the band. And honestly, he's the first one I think of because he seemed to really enjoy playing with Ozzy, because Ozzy did a little solo set before Black Sabbath. Now maybe you know why. I mean, things come on pretty quickly. I mean, I just didn't foresee it to be this quickly, and honestly, it's really a tough pill for me to swallow. It's back when I was a kid, I used to think of all the musicians that you loved and you cared about, and they, sadly, as you get older, they slowly start to pass away. So it's sad in a way, um, but as my wife says, we honor them by blasting the music, sharing them with our children, sharing them with our friends, with our family. If they never liked them, maybe you can talk them in. I mean, honestly, Mom, I'm Coming Home, that little song you heard right there, just the overall feel in that song, it's got some country stuff to it. To be fair, I've been really digging into that No More Tears album, Time After Time, Road to Nowhere. I mean, these songs are really going, and Mom, I'm Gonna Coming Home. I mean, these 3 songs definitely leave you with feeling and a definite understanding. The very first track I actually ever heard by Ozzy was off No More Tears. And it wasn't No More Tears, the solo song, which is just an incredible song. It was actually the leadoff track, Mr. Tinker Train. Saw the video on Headbangers Ball on MTV, and I had my father take me down to a place called Hegwish Records. And honestly, he tried to talk me into buying Black Sabbath, but he caved and bought me the Ozzy. And honestly, it really stuck with me forever. And honestly, there's a lot of cool stuff with Ozzy that through the years, me personally, I got to see Ozzy 6 times, which when you think about it, that's pretty cool. I mean, I was sad earlier because, but to see Ozzy 6 times, that's pretty awesome. When you really comes down to it. The No More Tours 2 is what I saw him on, and honestly, a cool. I mean, he started off with Bark at the Moon, Mr. Crowley, I Don't Know, Fairies Wear Boots, Suicide Solution, No More Tears, Road to Nowhere, War Pigs, I Don't Want to Change the World, Shot in the Dark, Crazy Train, Mom, I'm Coming Home, and Paranoid. I mean, honestly, I can honestly tear up, because if I knew it was going to be like this, I honestly would have bought in the very front row seats. That's the thing we all have to learn. And this was back. I'm looking at the time on this. We're going to go back now. It's going to be 7 years ago. 7 years ago this September 21st is when I saw this concert, and Stone Sour opened up the show. Really great show. And honestly, to see him out there, he was running across the stage, he was throwing the bucket, he got the hose out. He always used to get the hose out. Nobody gets the hose out anymore and sprays people. Gotta get the hose out in honor of Ozzy. I mean, Ozzy was just cool in so many different ways. I seem to be a guy who liked to have fun, a guy who had a lot of friends. You've heard the stories. He's hung out with Motley Crue. He's hung out with Judas Priest. He's hung out with all of the bands. I mean, right here is probably, I was thinking about this before coming on, some of my greatest things that I have here. Okay. Number 1, Ozfest 97. I mean, I got to see right here for the very first time Black Sabbath and Ozzy Osbourne on the same bill, okay? Along with Pantera, Marilyn Manson, Fear Factory, Machine Head. But, I mean, look at Ozzy, man, and Black Sabbath. I mean, just so cool, man. So cool. I know I'm blocking the screen here, but really cool. And then I got to see Ozzy solo by himself on Ozfest 98. Led to some drama with some people not wanting to sit and watch Ozzy. They said he was not their kind. They wanted the new metal stuff. And I said, you should probably sit and listen to Ozzy. Don't know when the last time you'll be able to sit and listen to him. Man, I was upset that day. But you know what? I'm glad I got to sit and listen to him. Ozfest 99, again, really cool. You got Black Sabbath headlining the whole entire thing again. I mean, I saw Black Sabbath 3 times. So to be fair, Ozzy solo 3 times, Black Sabbath solo. Because then Ozfest 2000 here, which is the final booklet. I got these booklets. Um, you had Ozzy doing more solo stuff, which is cool. And there was more after this. 2001, it kept going. I went away to college, and I'm pretty pissed because why did I just stop going to Ozfest? I should have always went and seen Ozzy anytime I could. Because again, here we are. We don't know if we're ever going to have any unreleased material. We don't know if everything we got's what's on the table. We don't know. I mean, usually maybe there's some secret stuff being recorded. But going through just some of his is great. I mean, you know what I mean? The Bark at the Moon music video. Whoa, you talk about one of the coolest videos in the 80s. Just always bringing it. Like, you go, honestly, if you got some time, you can go to any Ozzy playlist and just be like, okay, I want to hear who is this Ozzy, and just kick off any one of his songs. And honestly, like the Bark at the Moon guitar, Shot in the Dark. I mean, you talk about some really, really awesome, awesome, awesome tracks. I mean, honestly, don't know what's the word I'm looking for. You know what I mean? Down to Earth by Ozzy, some good stuff on there. Dreamer, really, really good stuff. It's cool to just really dig into that Ozzy catalog. Tomorrow by Ozzy, that's another really, really good one. Um, I mean, a lot of people are going to be doing a lot of digging. These album sales are going to rise because of the sad passing of Ozzy. And you know what? They should. What's the word I'm looking for? They should. You know what I mean? We like Ozzy, and we like uh everything that has to do with Ozzy. So if any Ozzy get any kind of more play because of this, definitely am not going to be upset about that at all. Um, Here's a little beginning of Tomorrow. Just really good stuff here. Just really good guitar work. And, Perry Mason, great guitar work. One thing you're always going to think about when you think of Ozzy is you're going to think about the cool guitar work of, Tony Iommi and Sabbath, and Zach Wilde, and Jake E. Lee, who did a great job at that Black Sabbath memorial, and the whole memorial going away concert. I mean, it kind of is like a memorial now. Not really, like I said, something that I think a lot of people had on their bingo cards for today. I knew that I had to cancel the rest of whatever I was doing for the show because, well, you know what? We got to dig into Ozzy. We just got to sit and talk Ozzy and just see what we really, really enjoyed about him. See You on the Other Side. Oh, man. You want to get a song that really gets down in your, I mean, Changes, Planet Caravan. One thing I always want you guys to know out there about Ozzy is as heavy, as heavy, as heavy, as heavy as he could be, man. He could really bring a soft side that allowed people to dig into a little bit more of what he was about. This man recorded all over Paris, France, New York, Miami. I mean, I just would like to be a fly on the wall, in his whole life. I'm sure, and I don't want to make any kind of speculations, but I'm curious if they'll ever make a movie over Ozzy. I was thinking earlier, I wonder if they should do one Oz, like an Oz fest, like a what's the word I'm looking for? Like a touring Oz fest, just honoring the king, the legend, like a final goodbye. It would be awesome for the fans. I'm curious to see. I'm sure a lot of bands would be down to do that. Sadly, earlier I was talking about the sad passing of Randy Castillo, who was a drummer for Ozzy. Passed away in 2002 on the No More Tears album. Does a really good job. Really great drumming. But again, Mike Inez from Alice in Chains was another part of Ozzy. He played at the thing that just went down. It's crazy. Time, as the song says, time after time, it really goes crazy here. People are that we care about, we love, and we listen to. You just, oh man, Oh wow. Again, it's a tough one, but we're gonna make it here at the Hookup on Music because we got each other here talking about the great, the legend. Um, it's always a shock. I mean, sometimes I think of it as every episode we kick out here gonna be somebody passing away. It seems to be that way a little bit. But back to Ozzy, making up with past bandmates like in Black Sabbath, like Bill Ward, old friends. You know, this whole concert that they put on was a really awesome way to talk and do some really cool stuff together here one last time. I mean, not what's the word I'm looking for? Uh, you don't know how much they knew about Ozzy. If they knew it was only going to be a couple weeks, if they knew he had like a year, so they planned this, so it happened a little bit before. I don't know a lot of that, but when digging in deeper into like surprising facts about cool things about Ozzy, I mean, there's just so much. Ozzy slept through a single. Okay, the band threw together a song, "You Said It All," and a soundtrack. And drummer Lee Kurzlik sang the guided vocal because Ozzy passed out under the drum riser. The song was never properly recorded, but a live version made it onto an EP. Ozzy was known for crazy debauchery, snorting up ants, but to fall asleep when you're having a song, that's crazy. Um, no Bones Movies was added as a late addition, which isn't a bad track. I've listened to it recently on Blizzard of Oz. Um, but what is the song about? It's about the adult film industry, but they wanted a little bit of a writing credit on there, so they gave it to Lee Kurzlik on that one. But it was meant the whole entire project, honestly. Um, put Ozzy into the forefront. And to be fair, Crazy Train, I'll always remember seeing that music video for the very, very first time um, on MTV. It had Randy Rhoads' Flying V on the track. Ozzy had this really crazy, cool perm that I never really obviously saw before that time. And honestly, it was really, 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 really interesting. Um, But that being said, very, very, very cool. Actually, one some crazy facts here. Ozzy actually suffered from stage fright. You wouldn't have known it, like I said, with the hoses spraying water all around. Um, but still crazy. Nonetheless, um, it's how do I say this? You go and you his favorite band, the Beatles. Okay, we talk about this kind of stuff all the time. Like, do you hear any of the Beatles when you hear Ozzy? Well, maybe on like No More Tears, but I don't know. I- That's what's cool about influences. Like, do you hear your own influences in your music? Ozzy, towards the end of his career, recorded tracks with Elton John. He loved Elton John, which is cool. It's always cool. I read the story recently. This is a really, 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 really cool story. Ozzy sitting outside of waiting to go on, I think it was the Top of the Pops, waiting to go on, and Bob Marley comes out of the dressing room, huge cloud of smoke. Ozzy said that he saw Bob smoking, and thought what he saw nobody can perform under those influences. He said he's gotta be lip syncing up there. He said he watched Bob Marley go up on stage and nail the performance. And honestly, just shows how many people Ozzy had himself mixed up with. His neighbor Pat Boone recorded a cover of Crazy Train. But he had that television show, The Osbournes. Um, Ozzy sang the seventh inning stretch. Ozzy always was game. That's the one thing you can always say. There's a lot of musicians who weren't game. Um, Ozzy was definitely, what's the word I'm looking for? Always game to do cool things. And being a part of so many cool things, I think helps him out probably to do more cool things. When you really, really, really think about it. Every one of his solo albums has gone multi-platinum. It's not an easy feat, you know what I'm saying? There's been controversy, songs drawing up controversy, um, being sued multiple times, just a lot of stuff that you say, well, Ozzy lived a hard life. He did live a hard life, so did Keith Richards, and so did a lot of people. But it all depends a lot on, I think, just timing and fate and genetics. And Ozzy's genetics to make amazing heavy metal music will always, always be remembered in so many different ways. I mean, when you hear an Ozzy song, you're going to know it's Ozzy. There's not a time where you don't hear the beginning of this song and you don't know who it is. Just a bass that just hits. But then again, that's Mike and Ez helping Ozzy out, getting the goodies going. But again, he's been through a lot, and and when I mean been through a lot, like accomplished a lot, is kind of what I meant more by that. Not like been through a lot. He has been through a lot. Being sued multiple times is a lot. Um, Never Say Die, a very interesting Black Sabbath album, the one that I've been digging into the most. Um, to see these artists at different times of their life, and are they being successful? Are they struggling? Is it a happy time? Is it a sad time? It's all very interesting. Ozzy made the story so much more interesting for the fans who listen to him. He made it so much cooler to wear an awesome heavy metal shirt. Um, I remember always there was not a time in my life where I didn't think Ozzy was cool. Ozzy is just the epitome of cool. And honestly, Ozzy um but that's the what's the word I'm looking for? That's the over and the under of the whole entire Ozzy category. I mean, you plug in, you rock out, you listen to his awesome music, and you keep going. Um, so that's why today's news was very, very shocking and very, very eye-opening. That again, we can't take this time too seriously. I mean, you got artists you want to go out and see. Time is borrowed, and you better check out who you enjoy. Again, I can say that for the most part, a lot of times I don't get to see that last performance in town. So for Ozzy, it makes it really, really an awesome experience, because it's something that I can hold with me for a long time. Really cool tour gear on that too. A really awesome Bark at the Moon shirt was bought in. Um, that's what you think. I mean, when you look back on a career, like if Ozzy was in the room here, hello, Ozzy, he'd be like, well, hello. And I would be like, is there anything you would regret in your career? And I bet he would say no, or he'd say, yeah. That's what's cool about an artist, is you get to think about what their next thoughts would have been. Yeah, I would have recorded more music. Oh, I lost some years doing this or doing that. No, I made it just the way it happened, and I wouldn't change it for the world. And to be fair, my experience listening to Ozzy and jamming, there's nothing I would change. The experiences that have helped me grow to be able to do a show like this is awesomely incredible. And Ozzy is one of the main driving forces in all of that. If anybody who does anything heavy metal, Lamb of God did that cover of Children of the Grave we were talking about. Definitely awesome. Check out Nativity in Black, part 1 and part 2. These are just loaded with great cover songs by everyone from System of a Down, all the way to Sepultura, all the way to, just Ozzy, even hooking up with Les Claypool, just doing nib. I mean, So many awesome things. Ozzy will always be remembered in so many different ways. Music will always stand. Um, what are the songs that you think make up in Ozzy's top 10 songs? You know, what are your to Ozzy top 10 songs? You know what I mean? You gotta put Bark at the Moon, No More Tears, Crazy Train, Mama I'm Coming Home, Flying High Again, Over the Mountain, Mr. Crowley, Shot in the Dark. I mean, but then there's deeper cuts that you gotta do, that you gotta get into, like the Ultimate Sin, Miracle Man. If it's Sabbath that you're looking for and you're looking for some deeper stuff with Sabbath, I mean, dig into the Sabotage album. The Writ, a track that was created by Ozzy because they were being screwed by their record label, just shows again the depths that they were willing to go to. Hole in the Sky, Symptom of the Universe, that Sabotage album. That's a good album. So is the Sabbath Bloody Sabbath. You know, you got so many good things. National Acrobat. What a song that one is. That one just is Sabracadabra. I love that track. Sabracadabra. Metallica does a great cover. Again, Party with the Animals. You ever hear Buffy the Vampire Slayer? Great track there. But it just hurts so much that we lost Ozzy today. So please, everyone out there, this was just an honoring of a legend that, to me, he will always be remembered as just a great rock singer who just really brought it every time he stepped on that stage. So again, Ozzy, rest in peace. The Hookup on the Music really appreciates everything that you were able to bring to the music, and we will always honor you here. This won't be the last time we ever talk about Ozzy. I'll tell you that for sure. He will be remembered in all the things we do, even if we're talking about things like last week, the Pointer Sisters. You know, we want to talk about that kind of, you know what I mean? That's just the way it goes here. Please, everyone out there, thank you so much for listening to the Hookup on Music. And please, thank you so much for just listening and honoring the great Ozzy Osbourne. Really awesome musician, and he will be missed. Please check out the Hookup on Music's past episodes. They are all loaded with great musical talk. A future episode that's coming soon, we'll talk new Billy Joel documentary. Really good stuff. Lord Huron's got a new album. Who else knows what other kind of surprises can drop? Tune in this Friday if you can to the at the show. We're talking Jaws behind me. We're talking Jaws 50th anniversary. That's going to kick ass. Great soundtrack there. I'm going to have a soundtrack pick of the week. It's going to be a great time. Everyone out there, thank you so much for supporting the Sadistic Penguin Studios network. Thank you for supporting the Hookup on Music. My name is Tony B, and we'll be seeing you around here shortly. So everyone out there, take care. Thank you.
Thank you for listening. Please look out for the audio version wherever you jam.